Welcome back, folks. This is Matthew Grower with Seacoast Mortgage. We are talking about learning the mortgage process. And this is a fun video. We're going to be doing Rhode Island Housing. If you don't plan on moving to Rhode Island, this video may not apply to you, but it's also interesting to hear. A lot of state agencies do have similar programs, so you may want to listen to this to hear how Rhode Island treats their first-time home buyers or even multi-time home buyers compared to other states. I'm Matthew Grower with Seacoast Mortgage. Phone number is 401-640-3364. And my email address is mguerra@Seacoast Mortgage. If you ever want this slideshow or you have any questions, feel free to contact me either way. Alright, so we are going to jump ahead down to the first-time homebuyer bonuses, which are pretty much Rhode Island Housing loans. With Rhode Island Housing, you can get an FHA or a conventional loan with no money down. One thing I must say is a lot of products with Rhode Island Housing are either first-time homebuyer based or they are income-driven, so check to see if you've qualified before just assuming and go out house buying under the premise that you could qualify for one of these programs. With the FHA, they will give you a second mortgage for the down payment of 3.5%. With a conventional, they'll give you the required down payment for 3% down. Now, on a conventional, the MI factor on a 3% mortgage, I've told you, is very high. So there is a good way to avoid that, though. That's with the no MI option. There's also, we have right now, the state of Rhode Island, a college grant for grads program, where they will give you up to $7,000 to cover the down payment on FHA or conventional with Rhode Island Housing Mortgage. The caveat there, though, is you had to get a degree in the last 3 years from an accredited school. The fun thing is Rhode Island Housing will do a conventional mortgage on a two-family house. That cannot happen at a regular bank unless you put at least 15% down. Rhode Island Housing will do it with 5% down. And the best bonus of all, which is a thing you can take outside of Rhode Island Housing products, is the MCC Tax Credit, where 20% of the annual interest becomes a tax credit when you file. And we have 3 banks that respect that: Rhode Island Housing, Flagstar, and Plaza. So let's dive into Rhode Island Housing and see how much your loan costs. Remember, we're still purchasing this house in Tiverton for $149,000. It's Margaret Street, and it qualifies for just about every program that is out there, so that's what we've been using. So let's go with the no money down Rhode Island Housing FHA loan and see how that compares. So I was going to go with RIH FHA, 0 down. Well, the purchase price stays the same, doesn't it? Still a $149,000 house. And we've said we don't want to put anything down. The interest rate on the FHAs is, I believe, 4.25%. The upfront MI, now the upfront MI is a little bit tricky to calculate, but we'll do it anyway. It equals, now, it's really 0.965, so it's the $149,000, take out the 3.5% you would put down. Rhode Island Housing's putting that down for you. So it doesn't get factored into the upfront MI portion. So that's 96.5% of the purchase price of the house. And we're going to take that and we're going to multiply. We are going to take that, and let me put some parentheses around this. Then we're going to multiply this by 0.0175. There we go. That makes sense. That's how it's just about the same amount. Actually, it's the same exact amount as the FHA mortgage, and that makes sense because even though we're not putting it down this time, that 3.5% is put down, but it's on behalf of somebody else. So the actual mortgage amount is going to be and let's change something here. We are dealing with first mortgages now because we're going to have a second. Alright, so the first mortgage amount is 0.965 of this. As I said, it just didn't want to cooperate, plus our upfront MI. So again, the loan amount is actually the same as the FHA loan. So we can just carry these two down, no biggie there. The mortgage insurance is still equal to 0.0085 times 0.965 times the loan amount divided by 12. So the actual mortgage insurance amount is very similar to what it was before. Actually, it should be exactly the same. I think I may have made a mistake on this one. I did make a mistake on this one. I'll deal with that later. Alright, so the second mortgage now. This equals, let's do the payment function, PMT. Our interest rate is still the same in Rhode Island Housing. Always divide by 12. Remember, the interest rate is carried over the full calendar year, so subtract some of that out. The number of payments, it's a 15-year mortgage, and it's 0.035 times the purchase price of the house, and we are set for a $39.23 second mortgage. So now, the mortgage payment is going to be this number, plus this number, plus this number, and remember we have the negative sign for the mortgage insurance. It's our most expensive mortgage by far, $861 essentially. We can carry this across, we can bring in the 110, and we bring this across, and now we see we have the most expensive interest rate you will see. So that's how you can do the Rhode Island Housing FHA zero down loan. Now we also have the no MI conventional. I don't like to discuss the conventional with MI because the MI is so expensive. So let's do the RH no MI zero down. Also, we're looking at $149,000. Again, we're doing zero money down. The interest rate is extremely high, 5%. Upfront MI. There is no MI in a no MI loan. So the loan amount equals this. We can carry the interest and the principal over. And you'll see the interest is pretty high because of the high interest rate. The mortgage insurance, none. Second mortgage equals PMT. Oh, I made a mistake, by the way. Easy fix, though. All right, so the payment amount is the rate, 5%, divided by 12. The number of periods is 180, and the principal value is 0.03 of the 149,000. Actually, of the purchase price. Let's do it that way. That way, when you change the purchase price, those numbers will fall naturally. What I did forget is your loan amount is actually based on 97% of the mortgage because the other 30% is there. Alright, so now we carry our mortgage payment across. We can pull this right across with this. Actually, let's pull all four of them across, and we'll make the adjustment as necessary. Now, this is what surprises a lot of people. Notice how your 5% no money down mortgage is actually less than your 4.25% FHA mortgage. And the reason is the mortgage insurance. They get you on the front end by paying 1.75%, and they get you on the mortgage insurance right here of $101.85. Those are two expenses that just aren't that great. The RA Housing no money down loan, by the way, is only $43 more than a conventional mortgage where you put 5% down. So it's not a bad option at all, although the conventional mortgage after 10 years will drop off by another $82. But let's talk about the MCC tax credit. This is an interesting idea. So an MCC tax credit is you take the interest portion of your mortgage and you multiply or divide by 5. And we can do this for every single mortgage. Now, you don't realize that tax benefit until after you file your taxes, but now you could say a total, after tax payment, and it's going to equal your previous payment minus your tax credit and now that puts you in a little bit of a different boat. That puts you in a situation where, look at this no MI loan. Because it has so much interest built into it initially, you're going to be saving even more money than the other loans, and now it almost is in line with the conventional putting 5% down. It's very interesting that we have this option around, and it's worth taking advantage of. The MCC tax credit, however, is limited to $2,000 per year. So, in other words, $166.67 is the top line you can see on a monthly basis. And this mortgage credit lasts for the entire life of the mortgage. That's 30 years. The amount does diminish with each passing month. Every time you make a mortgage payment, your interest portion goes down, 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 towards the end where the last payment is all principal, almost all principal. So keep that in mind. But the MCC tax credit is a great product to get, and you don't have to use it with Rhode Island Housing loan. You can use it with any one of these loans that we have here. So this is Matthew Guerra again, discussing Rhode Island Housing loans. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at 401-640-3364. Or, of course, you are welcome to email me at mguerra@seacoastmortgage.com. And hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.